Dear students, I am from Narayana Medical Academy. Today we are going to discuss about Unit Test 1 Physics part in detailed solutions. So question number 1, the given conditions for a moving particle are x is equal to alpha t cubed and y is equal to beta t cubed. So we require the speed of the particle at a time t. For this, what we have to do is differentiate the first equation of x to get the x component of speed. So dx by dt is equal to x component of speed, which is 3 alpha t square. So now we differentiate y equation to get the y component of speed, dy by dt, which is equal to vy, which is 3 beta into t square. Therefore, the net speed of the particle is given by v is equal to root of vx square plus vy square. So from this, if you substitute the above equations of vx and vy, we get the net speed of the particle as v is equal to root of 3 alpha t square whole square plus 3 beta t square whole square. From this, we can take this 3 square outside, you will get 3 alpha as it is, t square whole square will come out from both the terms. So t square will come out as t square. So 3 t square root of alpha square plus beta square would be the final answer. Here, the key for the first question is the third option. Let us go for the second question. Here given the position vector of the particle with respect to the origin as r bar is equal to at I cap minus bt square j cap. So we want to find out what is the trajectory of the projectile for this position vector of the particle. Now what do we do is the x component is at, the y component is minus bt square. From these two equations, this is as equation 1 and this is as equation 2. Substitute the value of t from equation 1 into equation 2. Therefore, we get as y is equal to minus b. T can be written as from the equation x by a whole square. Therefore, the trajectory equation is given by minus b by a square into x square. So this is the answer for the second question. So now our key is the first option. Let us start with the third question. A body is dropped from a height h. Here given t1, t2 be the times for covering the first half and the next half distances. Therefore, what would be the relation between this t1 and t2? Let us see. Let us draw a figure. Let a body is dropped from a height h. For the first half, the time is t1. For the next half, the time is t2. From equations of motion for a freely falling body, we write as for the half gt1 square is the equation 1. For the total height, the time interval would be t1 plus t2. So therefore, we can write h is the total height. So half g into t1 plus t2 whole square. This is equation 2. From 1 and 2, we can substitute this as half g t1 square is equal to g by 2 into t1 plus t2 whole square. This is from equations 1 and 2. So therefore, 2t1 square is equal to t1 plus t2 whole square. So now root 2 t1 is equal to t1 plus t2. So root 2 minus 1 into t1, bringing this t1 this side, is equal to T2. So therefore, we can write T1 is equal to T2 by root 2 minus 1. So this is the answer for the third question. So the option is fourth option. Let us go with the fourth question. A man in a balloon throws a stone downwards with a speed of 5 meters per second with respect to the balloon. The balloon is moving upwards with a constant acceleration of 5 meters per second square. Then the velocity of the stone relative to the man after 2 seconds is. This question is very easy when we are doing this question with respect to the concept of relative velocity. So after a time t, let the relative velocity is equal to u relative plus a relative into t. So therefore, we simply write v relative velocity is equal to u relative. Here u relative is the man's speed, a man in a balloon throws a stone downwards with a speed of 5 meters per second with respect to the balloon. Directly, relative velocity of the stone with respect to the balloon is 5 meters per second plus. So here the acceleration of the stone with respect to the balloon is acceleration of the stone minus acceleration of the balloon into t. So we find out the relative velocity after a time t as 5 plus acceleration of the stone is acceleration due to gravity, which is downward. I am taking it as positive. So 10, and the balloon is moving up given with an acceleration of 5 meters per second square. So we can write it as minus of minus 5, and this we are going to take after a time t is equal to 2 seconds. So 2. Therefore, the relative velocity after 2 seconds is 5 plus 15 into 2. Therefore, the 35 meters per second is the relative velocity of the stone with respect to balloon after a time t is equal to 2 seconds. Therefore, our answer is the fourth option. Let us discuss about the fifth question solution. A particle starts from rest, undergoes an acceleration as shown in the figure. The velocity time graph from figure will have a shape. From the graph shown, acceleration time graph shown. So initially positive value, and after some time the acceleration is negative. The acceleration is negative because the direction of force acting on the body is in the opposite direction after obtaining a maximum speed. So now the body is traveling along a straight line, first accelerates for some time and then attains a maximum speed and then decelerates coming to rest. So therefore the velocity time graph would be given as, so first accelerates, attains a maximum speed, from here it decelerates to come to rest. So therefore, so our option would be the first option for the fifth question. Let us discuss the sixth question's solution. Here the question is, the two particles start moving from the same point along the same straight line. The first moved with a constant velocity v and the second with a constant acceleration a. During the time that elapses before the second catches the first, the greatest distance between the two particles is. So now let us discuss the solution for that. There are two bodies. This is A and this is B. This is moving with a constant velocity v and let this starts with an acceleration a. The body which is accelerating will move forward than the velocity of the first body. So therefore we simply say, in order to catch the body B, what would be the distance that the A will travel before catching it. Let us discuss in terms of relative method. So we can write it as V relative square is equal to U relative square plus 2A relative into S relative. So here A is catching B. Therefore, final relative velocity must be equal to 0. So here velocity of A minus velocity of B plus 2 into acceleration of A minus acceleration of B into S relative. So therefore I can write it as UA, it has a velocity V minus the initial velocity of the second body is 0 because it starts from rest, so square plus 2, acceleration of A is 0 because it is moving with constant speed, so 0 minus acceleration of B is A, so therefore A, so the relative distance traveled. So therefore we can write it as V square minus 2A into S relative distance. So the maximum relative distance that A will travel to catch B is S relative is equal to V square by 2A. So therefore our option is the second one. Let us discuss with the seventh question. Given the conditions are x is equal to 60 and y is equal to 80 minus 5t square. Here we have to find out what is the velocity of projection of the body. Velocity of projection will take place at time t is equal to 0. This is called velocity of projection. Velocity of projection. Therefore, differentiate the above two equations of x and y. We get the components of x velocity and y velocity. So dx by dt is equal to 6. So we can write it as Vx is equal to 6 meter per second, and dy by dt, differentiating the y equation with time we'll get the y velocity component, which is as 8 minus t square is 2t, therefore 10t. So at time t is equal to 0, Vx is as it is because it moves with uniform speed. So Vy is 8 meter per second. Therefore, the initial velocity of projection is root of, so Vx square plus Vy square. So you will get u is equal to root of 6 square plus 8 square. Therefore, the velocity of projection is 10 meter per second. So from the options, third option is the correct one. Let us discuss the eighth question. Here the particle is projected from the ground with an initial velocity v at an angle of theta with the horizontal. The average velocity of the particle between its point of projection and the highest point of trajectory is. Let us draw a diagram pertaining to the question that let a particle is projected with a speed v at an angle theta to the horizontal, that is along the x-axis. Now the trajectory of the projectile is a parabola. Now we want the average speed between the point of projection O and the maximum height A. Basically we know that the average velocity is given by total displacement to that of total time taken to have this displacement. What is this displacement? Now let us draw, this is the maximum height, and the position of the maximum height from the horizontal is half the range. Therefore, the displacement is given by root of r by 2 whole square plus the maximum height square. We know that. So the range equation is given by u square sine 2 theta by g, and the maximum height is u square sine square theta by 2g. Therefore, using these two, we can find out the displacement, and we know that the time taken from the point of projection to the maximum height is the time of ascent, which is given by u sine theta by g. Substituting R, H and T in the equation V average, you will get the V average as V by 2 into root of 1 plus 3 cos square theta. Therefore, our option is the third one. We discuss about the next question, say ninth one. Given here the velocity vector of a ship A as VA bar is equal to 3i cap minus 4j cap kilometer per hour, and ship B appears to have a velocity of 5i cap plus 12j cap kilometers per hour. Given ship B with respect to A appears to A as 5i cap plus 12j cap, it is kilometer per hour. Then here it is asked, what is the true velocity of the ship B? So the true velocity is given as, we know that from relative velocity concept, velocity of B with respect to A is velocity of B minus velocity of A. Therefore, the true velocity of the B is given by velocity of B with respect to A plus velocity of A. Therefore, velocity of B with respect to A is 5i cap plus 12j cap plus velocity of A is 3i cap minus 4j cap. So on solving this, so we can write, so this is 8i cap plus 8j cap. So therefore, this is the velocity vector. If you want to find out, we can find out the magnitude also, which is kilometer per hour. So this is our answer. So our option is the fourth one. Let us discuss the 10th question. A particle is projected with a velocity v bar. Given initial velocity vector u bar as 8i cap plus 6j cap. Now, the time after which it will start moving perpendicular to its initial direction of motion is. Let us see what is the velocity of vector. What is the velocity vector after a time t? V bar is equal to u bar plus a bar into t. This is the velocity, final velocity vector. We can write v bar is equal to 8i cap plus 6j cap minus, here acceleration vector is against the gravity, so minus g I cap minus g j cap into t. So therefore, our final velocity vector after a time t can be written as 8i cap plus 6 minus gt into j cap. Now we want the time after which the initial velocity vector is perpendicular to the final velocity vector. Therefore, for two vectors to be perpendicular, we can write v bar dot u bar is equal to 0. Therefore, v bar is 8i cap plus 6 minus gt into j cap dot u bar is 8i cap plus 6j cap dot product of two vectors is equal to 0. Therefore, we can write it as II1, so 8 8s are 64 plus 6 minus GT into JJ is 1, so into 6 is equal to 0. Therefore, 64 plus 36 minus 60t is equal to 0. Therefore, 100 is equal to 60t. So, t is equal to 5 by 3 seconds. This is the time after which our initial velocity vector is perpendicular to the final velocity vector. So, therefore, our answer is the fourth one. Let us discuss the solution for the 11th question. The maximum height attained by a projectile is increased by 10%. Keeping the angle of projection to be constant, what is the percentage increase in its time of flight? Let us discuss this as in percentage from, let us see, maximum height and time of flight we relate it as. The maximum height attained by the projectile is increased by 10%. Let us, the initial height is equal to 100. The final height would be, so 100 plus 10% of 100. So H2 will be equal to 100 plus 10 by 100 into 100. So you will get H2 is equal to 110. Now what is the percentage increase in its time of flight? Basically, here H is equal to u square sine square theta by 2g, as H is directly proportional to u square. So we can write H1 by H2 is equal to u1 square by u2 square. Therefore, we can write it as 100 by 110 is equal to u1 square is u1 square by u2 square. Therefore, we can write it as u2 is equal to 11 by 10 square root of u1. This is a velocity. Relationship between u2 and u1. Therefore, time of flight is given by the equation 2u sine theta by g. Therefore, time of flight is directly proportional to the initial velocity. Directly proportional to initial velocity. Therefore, I can write the percentage change in the time due to the percentage change in the initial velocity can be given as, so t2 minus t1 by t1 into 100 gives the percentage change in the velocity. Therefore, we will write it as, substituting the values of, this depends on u like this proportionally. So u is u2 minus u1 by u1 into 100. Substituting the values of u1 and u2 in this equation will get the approximate value of percentage change in the time of flight as 5%. So therefore, substituting and solving this equation, we will get the percentage change in the time of flight. Percentage change in the time of flight is nearly 5%. So our option is the first one. Let us discuss the detailed solution of the 12th question. A projectile is fired at an angle of 45 degrees with the horizontal. The elevation angle of the projectile at its highest point as seen from the point of projection is. Let us see this. Let us draw a diagram to solve this problem conveniently. Let us see this. Given that a particle is projected at an angle of 45 degrees to the horizontal. 45 degrees to the horizontal. Therefore, what do we do is, the angle of elevation is nothing but the point of projection, and the highest point is joined by a straight line. Now, this angle made by this straight line with the horizontal is called angle of elevation. Now, this angle is I am assuming this angle as alpha. This is the maximum height and this is half the range. Therefore, from trigonometric condition we can write tan alpha is equal to h by r by 2. H by r by 2. So therefore, h is, we know the equations as h is equal to u square sine square theta by 2g, and we know the equation for range as u square sine 2 theta by g. Substituting these two with angle theta is equal to 45 degrees, we will get the value of alpha, tan alpha. We'll get this. Substituting these two, we'll get the angle as alpha is equal to tan inverse of 1 by 2. So therefore, our option is the second one. Let us discuss 13th question. A particle is projected with a velocity v so that its range on the horizontal plane is twice the greatest height obtained. If g is the acceleration due to gravity, then its range is. Let us see this. So this is, a particle is projected with a velocity v so that its range on the horizontal plane is twice the greatest height obtained. Let a projectile is thrown at an angle theta with a speed v. Assume at an angle theta with a speed v. Now, range on the horizontal plane is twice the greatest height. Given the range on the horizontal plane is twice the greatest height. Twice the greatest height. This is a condition. So, if g is the acceleration due to gravity, then its range is. Let us discuss this one. Range can be written as basically u square sine 2 theta by g is equal to 2 into u square sine square theta by 2g. So on solving these two, you will get 2 sine theta into cos theta is equal to sine square theta. 1 sine theta gets cancelled. So we will get, sending this cos theta that side, so we will get sine theta by cos theta, which is equal to 2. So tan theta is equal to 2. This is 1. Now what we want is range. From this we can find out what is sine theta and cos theta. Sine theta is 2 by root 5. Cos theta is 1 by root 5. Now the range is, let us see the range. What is the basic formula for range? Range R is equal to u square sine 2 theta by g. Therefore, range is v square into 2 sine theta into cos theta. We'll elaborate it. Sine theta into cos theta by g. Therefore, range is equal to 2v square by g into sine theta is 2 by 5, 2 by root 5, and cos theta is 1 by root 5. Therefore 1 by root 5. Therefore range can be written as 4v square by 5g. So this is our answer. So therefore, our option is the first one. Let us discuss the 14th question. A bomber moving horizontally with 500 meters per second drops a bomb which strikes the ground in 10 seconds. The angle of strike with the horizontal is. The angle of strike with the horizontal is. Let us see. Let us draw a height. Let a bomber is dropped horizontally with a velocity of 500 meters per second. Say this is as u. Now it follows a parabolic path. So the angle of projection, the angle at which it touches the ground with the horizontal is assumed to be theta. So therefore we can write the angle of strike is, let us see, ux is u, which is equal to 500 meter per second. Sorry, this is Vx is u, which is 500 meters per second. Vy is uy plus ay into t. The initial velocity is 0 along the vertical direction. Then Vy, you will get it as ay is g into time is after 10 seconds. So g is 10 into 10, which is equal to 100 meter per second. So here in this case, if this is to be theta, and this is Vy and this is Vx, from the figure we can write tan theta is equal to Vy by Vx. Therefore I can write tan theta is equal to Vy is 100 by, so we can substitute, so Vx as 500, so 500, so therefore, so tan theta would be equal to 1 by 5. Theta is equal to tan inverse of 1 by 5. So this is our answer. So our option from the given is the third one. Let us discuss the 15th question. A ball is projected horizontal with a speed v from the top of an inclined plane at an angle of 45 degrees with the horizontal. How far from the point of projection will the ball strike the plane? From this question, it is very clear that we have to find out the range of the projectile. Let us draw an inclined plane. This is horizontal. Let there is an inclined plane of inclination, assuming to be as beta. Now, let a projectile is thrown in the horizontal direction with a velocity u. Basically, this will move in this direction like this. This is the point of reaching. This is called the point of projection. So the distance between these two is said to be the range of projectile. So therefore, what do we do from here? So basically the range of projectile for horizontal projection from the top of an inclined plane is given by range is equal to u square by g cos square beta into sine 2 alpha plus beta plus sine beta. It is clearly instructed to the students to remember this formula for an inclined plane motion. Now here alpha is given 0 because it is horizontal projection. So and from here it is given beta is 45 degrees. So beta is equal to 45 degrees. Therefore, substituting these two in this equation, we can write range is equal to, so v square by g into 1 by 2 into sine beta plus sine beta, because alpha is 0. So therefore, we can write it as sine beta plus sine beta. So 2 sine beta, 2 into sine 45. Sine 45 we directly write it as 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2. Therefore, this one gets cancelled. You will get it as root 2. So therefore, range is equal to, when this goes to the numerator, 2 root 2 v square by g. So this is our result. So our answer is the second one.